Hi, friends. Hi, friends. What's up? Nice to see you guys again. Got a little video. Whew. Goodness. Babs liked it. What's up, guys? I got another video for you. Had a little idea come across my brain, which is always a scary thought, but I think this could make for a really cool video for you guys. I've always been obsessed with guitar tones. I don't know why. I've always loved it. I've loved amps. I've loved trading amps. I've loved kind of just being around the world of metal and keeping up with trends and everything like that. But here's the thing. Everybody wants to know, what kind of head should I get? What kind of pickup should I get? What kind of pedals should I use? Which specific boost do I need? Do I need rack equipment? What should go in the effects loop? Nobody knows the answers. But here's the thing. Each piece does matter. And today, we're going to run down the most overlooked piece, in my opinion. Quit overlooking it. So here's how this is going to work. I'm going to play 3 tones for you. We're getting right into it today. 3 tones. There is one variable between these 3 tones. One thing changes in my entire signal. One thing. I'm going to try to play the same riffs. I've picked out some very classic riffs because I think, like, when I go to a guitar store and I test an amp, there's like certain riffs that just need to sound good. Like, there are these riffs where, like, if I play this, it has to sound good. They're like good tone test riffs, which might be another video anyway. So, mark that one down. Let's get to it. Here's tone 1. Sounded awesome. This amp rules, dude. All right, that was tone 1. Pretty, pretty straightforward metal tone. Let's hear tone 2. Tone 2. All right, that's tone 2. Let's get right to it. Number 3. All right, that's tone 3. So there you go, guys. There are your different tones. Here they are, back to back again. 1, 2, 3. Ready? Pretty crazy. The differences are pretty crazy, and I love it, and I love that one thing can change. Do you guys have any guesses? Before I tell you what it is, do you have any guesses? What do you think it could be? I'm going to tell you in 3, 2, 1. Get your last guess in right now. It's the cab. Did you get it in? It's the speaker cab, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody thinks about cabinets, and they're not sexy. They're super heavy. Frickers weigh like 100 plus pounds a piece. Like they're just obnoxious. But man, do they make a difference. And especially in this world of plugins, like if you guys really get into IRs and cab sims and things like that, the right cab sim can totally change your tone and totally change what you're after. Now, these are all real cabs. None of these were sims. Room mic recording them. So I wanted you to hear the difference as if you were in this room with me. I thought that was important versus, mixing magic can change everything. I can't because I suck at it. But somebody who's good at that kind of thing could make any cab sound like any other cab, could tweak it to sound like this and that. But that's not what I wanted. I wanted a raw representation of what it sounds like in this room because, man, the differences are dramatic. I really hope it comes through on the video how dramatic these differences are. The first cab is my old trusty standby, my favorite cab I've ever had in my life. It is a Randall XL cab. It has 2 vintage 30 speakers and 1 15-inch Eminence Legend speaker in it. So it's a 212, 115 configuration. Haven't found a better one yet. I love it. I love everything about that cab. Cab number 2, this is the funny one, and I think for sure in the room it sounded the most dramatically different. I hope it came through on the video correctly. It is a Marshall Micro Stack angled cab. 1 10-inch speaker in that bad boy, and that's it. It sounded hilarious. They're all running my PV5150 block letter through that, every cab. Same settings on the amp, did not touch a single dial. I just switch cabs, turn the amp off, switch cabs, turn the amp back on, go. Everything else stayed completely identical except the cab. So with that 5150 head running through that little 10-inch Marshall speaker, pretty hilarious. Pretty hilarious sounding. You can tell that thing is not designed for 120 watts of all-tube power. Third cab, PV5150 Signature 1992 straight cab. The matching cab for the 5150 head. I bought the half stack used, so I don't know for sure, but I'm assuming this is the original half stack, like they bought it as a pair, because they match. They're both 1992 PV5150 straight cab, block letterhead. Seems like they were bought as a pair. And man, they do sound great together. And it's the only 16 ohm cab of the bunch as well. So I don't know how much of a difference that makes. But hey, worth noting. Sounded great. Had a lot of high-end sizzle and bite, man. And that is definitely, like, when I think of Eddie Van Halen's guitar tone, and especially his rhythm tone, it does have that bitey quality. And that certainly comes through. So they did a great job. It's just hilarious to me that Eddie Van Halen's amp is like the ultimate modern metal. It sounds so good. Dude, you just plug this thing in and go, and it sounds good no matter what you do. It does one trick, does that trick really, really well. As well as anybody. So I love that thing. But that 5150 cab was very interesting to me. I don't use it a lot just because I like the Randall more, and I think the tone test, I don't know, maybe you like the 5150 more, but it was certainly brighter. And here's the interesting thing. I set up a decibel meter in the room as well just to see the difference in volume. Again, did not touch the amp at all. The amp, it was not louder on the head. However, the cabs move different amounts of air, and for sure there's a volume difference between them. The Randall cab was the second loudest of them. The 5150 cab was the actual loudest. The Marshall by far the quietest. And here are, because I forget the exact numbers, but here they are. I wrote them down. Would you look at those results? Would you look at those loud boys? It's pretty loud down here in the dungeon. So yeah, man, it's just I thought it was an interesting idea because everybody thinks about metal tone. Everybody wants that. to rip, but people just overlook the cab in that scenario. So the way I'll put it is like this. You might have a particular head and you're not super happy with your tone, and you think, wow, I need to go get a new head. And a Mesa dual rectifier revision G is what you think is going to change the game for you, right? $1,500. Try to find one used for like $1,500. This Randall cab might be $300 if you can find one, or a 5150 cab for sure, $300 or less. And the tonal difference, maybe you pair that thing with whatever your current head is, and you're like, oh my god, the issue was never the head, it was the cab. And you just saved $1,200 by trying different speakers. So my point is simply that, you know, maybe the Mesa Revision G is also the answer. I don't know. But the speakers profoundly change the tone. We cannot ignore them when we talk about tone. And if that's part of your rig, if you're rolling into a gig and your rig is a pedal board, a head, a speaker cabinet, and your guitar, well, the speaker cabinet's playing a huge part in that. So maybe if you just sub that out instead of worrying about everything else, that could be the difference that you're looking for. So, ladies and gentlemen, the whole point of this video is this. Speakers matter. Think about your speakers. Think about how they fit into your tone, and understand that different speakers produce different tones. Till next time, ladies and gentlemen, drop a comment, drop a like, subscribe. I want to keep doing more guitar videos. I don't do them nearly enough, and I appreciate you guys sticking around, and I especially appreciate, you know, that three tips for metal tone video continues to do well and continues to get comments. So I really appreciate all the engagement on that. Glad you guys liked it, and leave some comments of what you'd like to hear me do next. I think tone is a very interesting discussion. I can watch rig rundowns all day. I love technology. I love the differences in tone and what you can do with the guitar. But mostly, man, I just love ripping. Rip on, ladies and gentlemen. Rip on. That's what I came up with. Rip on.